passed out so people know we're live, and I will be right with you. Okay, off to Facebook. So, how is everybody today? I am doing quite well. I make it up to get a Sprite zero sugar soda just because I ran out. Very, very hot again here. I hate it. I am not built for hot weather. Hot weather to me is, it's evil. I hate it. Anyway, this has been a pretty big couple of few days with Gina basically getting her job back and announcing that she was getting right back to work. For the people out there, they know who they are, who don't think there's enough time, and I'm talking about the blue pills who are crying and whining that she won for them, and for the black pills who didn't want her to settle because they need blood in the water, because their lives are boring. What can I say? We don't need that. The headlines were enough to humiliate Kennedy, and really, I would assume sooner or later we will find out what happened. I mean, it will come out one way or another. There was an interesting thing Variety posted. They did the cover shot of Harrison Ford, and he's been nominated for an Emmy Award for his role in Shrinking, and that's, like I've told people before, if you want to see a TV show with natural diversity, watch Shrinking. All right, why? Because it's a Los Angeles neighborhood, upscale Los Angeles neighborhood. What are you gonna get? So, yeah, I'm really glad he got nominated. It's literally one role. 30 years ago, I never thought in my life I'd ever see him play. But he had some interesting things to say, and I'm going to add this. Remember a couple weeks ago, Mark Hamill was kind of waxing rhapsodic about Star Wars, and basically kind of putting it out there that he felt rather, he felt sorry, I think, for the people that had made the movie, the younger actors. And Harrison Ford basically said, you know, that he and Harry and Mark, without Star Wars, never would have gotten where they got to. And he very grateful, thankful, and he had nothing but praise for Adam Driver. And it kind of struck me as interesting because the Tom Connors of the world love to run around saying how much, he hates Star Wars or la la la, blah blah blah, because they don't think. They don't go beyond what they've read and put a context to it. And for a long time, I think with everything that went on in the making of the original trilogy and Harrison's friendship with Carrie, it's a hell of a lot deeper than it was with anybody else, let me tell you. I think that was very hard for him at times to think about. And I think it was very hard for him because, he was 14 years older than her. He probably did feel really, really responsible. And yet, you're looking at him going, she knew exactly what she was doing. Don't care how old she was. She was old enough. She knew better, and she did, but now he seems conciliatory and grateful for the opportunity that playing Han Solo gave him. And I think what's going on here is they see the sequel trilogy, I think they've been told that it's going to be sidelined. And I think they don't feel bad for themselves. I think who they feel bad for is the Adam Drivers, the Daisy Ridleys, the John Boyegas, etc. And it's really interesting to me that they're that those two would do that. I think if Carrie was alive, she'd never be able to keep her mouth shut. I think she'd just say, yeah, they're putting that in a different timeline. But I also think the older actors understand why, because look, the sequel trilogy didn't work, and things are changing mightily at Lucasfilm. Like they just lost yet another David Goldman last week, and they've been losing. Hey Kim, they've been you see people leaving, and a couple of new people stepping in. They still don't have a media manager. The social media guy, Dustin Sandoval, has not been replaced. I am waiting for Robbie Rodriguez, the DEI guy, to go, and then that office just stays vacant. They don't need it. It's very interesting. A friend of mine did troll Pablo, and the thumbnail for this picture, this video, I sent this person this thumbnail, and they posted it on what they said, and not a word. They're all very, 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 very quiet. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy's assistant is now no longer got her cubicle in the president's suite at Lucasfilm. It is gone. She's somewhere else. John Favreau's assistant sitting there now. It's really interesting to me. You keep going through this and all that, and you can sense the change is coming. You just feel it. They've been very quiet. Apparently, Ewan McGregor accidentally let it out that he was going to be in Ahsoka season 2, and they hadn't filmed his role yet. And what I think it's going to be is a throwback to Clone Wars, and maybe a throwback to when they actually went to Mortis the first time. And it's really there's stuff going on here, guys. I mean, there's good stuff going on here, and we've got to let it all just play out. Kennedy has been quiet. Cameron's got his Marilyn Monroe movie going on, and trying to get funding for it, and there's a positive light out there right now. There's a positive light, and like Kim said, Mark, I think, is conciliatory now, because I think that in his mind he does know he was mistreated by Kennedy and the idiots, and I think he does know that people are aware of what happened and are not exactly thrilled about the sequel trilogy. And Harrison said something a long time ago that was very interesting. This is after I think The Rise of Palpatine came out, and he said, you have to give the fans what they want. Now, if you were under a rock and weren't aware of what was going on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, it would have been very obvious the fans hated the sequel trilogy to the point of turning away. And now with Gina coming back and getting her job back, which is what she wanted, she got everything she wanted. Lucasfilm bending the knee to her. Look, they can't afford to have all that shit come out. And let me tell you, I know for a fact that Pablo was going to be deposed on the witness stand, right? Because I think he's one of the main instigators. And, you know, all they'd have to do is just to ask Elon, who owns X, who paid for Gina's attorneys. Hey, Elon, you go through all of this guy's Twitter and get everything that's pertinent to Gina in direct messages and in his secret squirrel account. And, you know, that would have been easy because look, you can sit there and delete everything you want. It's still on the main server, right? It's still there, which is, I mean, and Elon's not going to take BleachBit to it, right? That's valuable information, right? I mean, that's stuff that you could sit there and go, oh, on this date back in 2018, you called someone this, 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 and this on Twitter. On this date in a private chat, you said this, 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 and this about and what you were going to do to Gina Carano. All right. That's evidence of absolute buffoonery, in my opinion. Okay. So, you know, it's all coming to a head, right? And we're all just sitting here going, okay, Pablo, when are you leaving? You know, can you give us a time? There's nothing else for us to do, right? So we sit and wait. And here's the deal. The Karen McCarthy lawsuit has not been settled yet. But as I've said before, everywhere, that they cannot, if they can't afford the Gina Carano stuff to come out, they really can't afford the Karen McCarthy stuff to come out. Because Karen McCarthy's lawyers are alleging criminal fraud. Okay, criminal fraud. And I'll tell you something. For over 100 years, people who ran Hollywood were breaking the law. And, you know, all the time, sex trafficking, probably embezzlement. I mean, the list is endless. But with this, you know, someone said, and I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was Jason Hunt or Stacey Ballard, but someone said that they were not surprised if adding Karen McCarthy's name as the line producer was there to secure funding. And then once they secured the funding, they didn't need her. That's an interesting thing. However, they secured the funding after she was gone, right? They secured the funding then. They didn't have it before. And, you know, the person that needs to be put up on the stand is probably Bob Chapek. Because I can see Kennedy going to him and saying, Bob, can we get the green light to do the Acolyte? Chapek looking at what they want to do going, don't let the door of my office hit you in the ass when you walk out, you know? And Kennedy going, okay, this is what we're going to do. She says it to Candace Campos, Rhonda Jort, Carrie Beck, Lin-Wen Brennan, and of course, the irrepressible fool, Leslie Headland, Urinal Cake. We need to keep this together. We are going to do this. I'm going to start getting money to you, Leslie. We're going to put it into the shell company in England, and you're going to film it there, right? And you're going to do film as much as you can with what we got. That's what they did. And they basically forced, because they had a sizzle reel, Disney to capitulate and make the show. But when they told Karen McCarthy, yes, this is what you're going to get, this is your budget, you will have we will rent you a house, we will get you a car, you will have a British phone, right? And it's in the evidence if you want to look, LA County Court. And it's like, no, they were ghosting her. And then when she finally did get a hold of them, they're like, we don't need you anymore, right? They didn't have the go ahead. She lost out on Making Sugar, which isn't a bad show. I tried to watch as much of it as I could, and I was a little bit eaved out from it. When, like, was it the fourth episode? You see a gay guy going to a gay guy's house. I was like, bleh. So I was like, no. I mean, I'm not so tolerant that I'm gonna force myself to watch that shit, right? So I didn't finish watching it, but you know, it's gotten some good critical reviews. Karen McCarthy lost a lot of money making that, and Apple is a lot more solid right now with their stuff than Lucasfilm is, right? So we've got this going on, and we gotta wait for that. And I mean, I think the next shoe to drop is going to be probably an agreement with Karen McCarthy's lawyers, giving them Lucasfilm and Disney giving her everything she wants. That's what I think. You know, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy, like I've said before in my videos, is a placeholder. That's all she's doing. She's just, you know, earning a paycheck for not doing anything, right? So there you go. And everybody who caused all the trouble for Gina and attacked the fans and drove the fans off is mouths are zipped. They're quiet. Why? Because they know when she goes, they'll go, right? Because then you look at the Lucasfilm roadmap. Kennedy's on top. Then you've got Lin-Manuel Brennan, Carrie Beck, Dave Filoni. There are a lot of parts to this organization that I think could probably be cut back a lot, right? I mean, especially in publishing, because the books aren't selling anymore, right? And why hire writers, contract writers, to write a novel if you know you're not going to sell any of it? And don't tell me the High Republic crap sold. It didn't. I know it didn't. It didn't. So, you know, the idea that worked, it didn't work, right? It just didn't. It was, you know, I think when you have a rock navigator named Geode who only moves when you're not watching him and you think that's a good character, I think that's when the Star Wars audience goes, bye, we're out. You know, I'm tapping out. This is stupid. Because that's right. You know, gay, celibate pilots. I mean, how many gay guys do you know that are celibate? And you know, when you're looking through all that stuff and a lot of the other ones, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. They were selling woke DEI, transgenderism, and all the rest, and DEI racism. They weren't selling Star Wars, and so I would probably cut back on the publishing. I would probably look for a different comic book publisher. I think Dark Horse, and just say no DEI woke shit. All right, we're not, no. And give them a map like George used to when he Bantam Books, and then oh god, I can't remember the last one that he had working for them, but you know, Give him a roadmap. Can't kill off Han. Can't kill off Luke. Leia. Lando. I would also say can't kill off Chewbacca. All right, can't kill off the kids. Um, you can make things exciting without a bloodbath. You know, I mean, why not? Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about this because, you know, what Kim asked, can he still get in trouble? Um, I get the feeling that when it comes down to it, Pablo knows that his time at Lucasfilm is limited. He ignores people on Blue Sky. He, you know, from what I've heard, he outright blocks people, but he doesn't talk out loud about things. You know, I think getting into it with Star Wars theory and then giving a non apology was the last straw for a lot of people who are Star Wars fans. They're just like, you know, anyway, I gotta go, and you know, I was bored and I had an idea for a video, but it just didn't, meh, meh. So if you guys have any ideas for topics, let me know. Um, yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi's gonna be in Ahsoka in a flashback or Mortis again. We're probably gonna get other cameos too. You know, anyway, I gotta go. You guys all have a good afternoon, and if something happens, I'll be right back here. This is Steph sending out Zero in the Galaxy.